Hey, what's up guys? Royal Giant has evolved to claim his throne as the best evolution in the game. All it takes is one cycle and then the second Royal Giant becomes absolutely overpowered. Once it's evolved, he gets a huge health increase of 30%. Your dream of getting damage will stay alive a lot longer while your opponent's trapped in a nightmare. And the evolved Royal Giant's recoil damage has area damage around the Royal Giant every time he attacks, speedily destroying bait cards like skeletons and goblins while pushing back mini pekkas, lumberjacks, and hunters so your opponent can never finish off your RG. Out of all the cards in the game, this is the most likely to make your opponents rage. And you know it's unfair when the rank 5, 6, and 7 in the world are all playing the exact same deck. This speedy cycle deck with Electro Spirit, Log, and Skeletons allows you to spam as many Royal Giants as possible, defending minimalistically with Fisherman and Phoenix so you can spend as much elixir on offense. Because when you get evolved royalty on the field, you'll completely conquer the arena. It's time to blast our opponents with golden balls and assert dominance. Lots of love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to make all of the daily videos possible. Yo, we got a game against someone with a red name. What's up, brother? We're dropping a good luck and figuring out what you got. So I can go for skeletons in the back, and he's going to go in for a skeleton barrel. I think we did a summoning circle for the skeleton barrel. It's all my fault for cycling the skeletons. All right, we're going to log that pretty much immediately, and we'll see what he's going to be cooking. Okay, so let's go Royal Ghost on the left. If he activates King Tower, it's not the biggest deal in the world, and he probably assumes that I'm running Royal Giant, so I don't think he will. Oh, he's going to activate King Tower with the Royal Ghost and Tornado. Wow, why wouldn't you? I guess that's why you didn't activate King Tower with Electro Spirit. Interesting. Sparky, okay, cool. So I'm psyched because I can activate King Tower with this Giant Skeleton because he doesn't have Tornado in cycle. So there's no way for him to stop this Fisherman from activating King Tower against the Giant Skeleton. The issue is how... Oh, that's a bigger issue. That's a much bigger issue. Some would say it's a giant issue. All right, so we're going to go in for an Electro Spirit here. It's going to soak up the one Sparky shot, and then we're fine. Oh, that's so much damage, dude. That's despicable of you. All right, if we Royal Giant, it's not able to splash and bounce back air cards. It splashes and bounces back any cards like Mini Pekkas, Lumberjacks. Dark Prince doesn't get moved back by it as well. So very good decision from our opponent from the amount of cards that he's been dropping. Okay, why would he do that though? That's easy fireball value. Yeah, you know, with the King Tower activated, I don't even have to respond to the skeletons. For a measly 4 elixir, I was able to sweep the floor with our opponent's Dark Prince, Skeleton Dragons, and Skeleton Barrel. Insane value. Fortunately for us, he didn't clone it because that would have been 2 skeleton barrels, and that would have been something that would have demanded more of a response. I can't believe he's got Sparky cloned. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. Okay, so he could tornado that again. That's what he did the first time. He might just sack the tower and not care. I get to show you guys an incredibly cool interaction if we can use our log timed with our Electro Spirit. You can stop the Sparky from shooting your Ice Spirit or Electro Spirit if you log it at the same time that you drop it, but not going to do that right now. Instead, we're going to play something like this. We're going to go in for a log, and we should be okay. I don't think that we're going to lose anything today. We're chilling. And then we can Royal Giant in the middle, and we've got a Royal Ghost, and we've got a Phoenix counter pushing. And the way that I did that is I made sure that the skeleton took the damage initially. The Sparky shot was wasted, and then I Electro Spirit, reset it afterward, and just spammed a lot of stuff. And it worked out really well. And whenever you're playing against Sparky, you want to cycle Phoenix in the back since it can't get shot at. So the Phoenix is going to be your best bet of making this happen. We're going to go for skeletons, Electro Spirit, Royal Ghost maybe, but Giant Skeleton, we want to pull the other side ideally. We can even fireball this early on just to be able to kill everything and pop it really fast. And then we can go in for a log, and then we can go in for another Fisherman. We can go for an Electro Spirit. I just want to make sure that the Sparky doesn't blast me, so that's why I didn't want to drop anything that could get discovered, right? If I drop skeletons, they could get hit. Maybe tornadoes something like really close to my tower, and I lose the game. But since the Royal Ghost is invisible, the Sparky's not even able to shoot it and hit the tower. Super easy W, very fun game. And as you guys can see, even against some of the most destructive decks in the game, Sparky, Giant Skeleton clone with Skeleton Barrel, this deck's defenses stay strong. And after absolutely dominating that destructive deck, we're at 2,400 in the world. All right, so jump into the game against someone with a Mother Witch banner. Hopefully, this guy's going to get cursed by his own witch. Fortunately for us, we were able to fully shut down the entire Goblin Barrel without any damage despite not having log in our hand. That's the power of fast cycle in Clash Royale. Having Electro Spirit with skeletons is sublime. So I'm going to go for a Ghost just because it's going to be able to one-tap the Princess before the Princess gets a shot. Very important stuff. Princess had her bow in the air, and the Royal Ghost didn't care. It still slapped it down. Nice. Look at that damage. Please. Oh, if that was able to hit the tower too, that would have been sublime. I'm going to go for a log slightly further back because I looked at the shadow of the Goblin Barrel, and I knew that it was going to be further back as well. So I was like, I'm not going to mess with that. You guys know the deal with Royal Giant, right? Generally, when you're running Royal Giant, you want to be able to cycle that as many as you possibly can at the start because the evolution has 30% more health, so it's just super overpowered. Like, the Royal Giant evolution is beyond broken, especially compared to the other evolutions that you have to cycle multiple cards. Like, you have to cycle 2 Firecrackers to get back to it. Royal Giant, you cycle 1, and then you're done. And then you're back to another Royal Giant that's evolved and overpowered. That's the reason why this evolution is so strong. And we even got a hit with the regular Royal Giant. That one was just meant to be memey. That one was just meant to get us to the next stage. And it's accomplishing things by itself. Bro, Royal Giant, you were supposed to be the training wheels. We weren't even able to get any extra mileage out of you, but you got us part way to the destination, bro. All right, we're at a pretty good spot. I can slow roll Royal Giant in the back, and then I expect him to have Inferno Tower generally. Yeah, I guess cycling the Phoenix here is not bad either, because the Phoenix is able to one-tap the Princess after the shot. So the Princess only got 1 shot on my tower since I had fast reactions with my Phoenix. If you're slower, then the Princess will get 2 shots, and it's a pretty big deal. We're going to go in for an Electro Spirit here, and maybe it's going to be able to chain onto the majority of the Goblins if I'm lucky. If not, then whatever. I think we can go in for a Fisherman here and a Royal Ghost at the same time, just so he can't go in for an Inferno Tower. Oh! That was painful, bro. Why you gotta do me like that? That was such a smart placement. If he dropped it in the middle, he would have gotten completely finessed. All right, I'm just going to Fireball for some damage. Might as well get it when I can. I'm going to log here. The Fisherman isn't going to be able to give us anything at all. This guy is smart. Good strategy of running Inferno Tower, too. That is one of the best buildings to counter Royal Giant. Let's go in for a Royal Ghost here. And then, what do? I think we stack up another RG in the back and then drop another one. So this Royal Giant isn't meant to do anything. When he goes in for the Inferno Tower, then we're going to get back to another one, and that one will do a lot of damage. I'm going to Fireball on the Princess just to get some extra damage. Might as well. And we're going to log, and we hit a Goblin Gang too. Okay. I like that. I am an enjoyer of melting Goblin Gangs and also Goblin Barrels for only 2 elixir. Thank you for the 6 elixir trades, sir. That was sick. And that's our plan. It went to fruition, and it worked out. We got back to another Royal Giant before he was back to another Inferno Tower. And the reason why this works is when you cycle a Royal Giant in the back and they respond with their building on the right-hand side, you can drop another Royal Giant in the left because your card cycle's so quick, you're going to get back to that before they're back to another Inferno Tower. And then they just lose the game. And that works with every building in Clash Royale. No matter what building your opponent has, they're going to have huge trouble when the Royal Giant comes through. Because opponents don't want to drop their building too soon since it decays over time. So if they drop it really early, it's not going to have any health when the Royal Giant approaches. But if they don't drop it early, they can never keep up and the Royal Giant wrecks them. Yo, this guy finished top 194 in the world. Okay. Little bit scared. We got to focus. You guys know the deal. He is not even a mini assassin. He's a major assassin. So if you didn't know, if the Fisherman targets a piggy that's already been damaged even slightly, you cannot activate King Tower. So you need to go and damage down other piggies than the ones that you are pulling. That's why we drop our Phoenix really far away on the other side. Also, because Royal Giant's evolution, you only have to cycle 1 of them to get the evolution. That means I'm going to cycle it every chance I get, so then I get the overpowered version of the card. And that's why our deck is such a fast cycle. So this Royal Giant doesn't even matter. This one I'm cycling right now, we don't care about it. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. So I'm going to go in for a Royal Ghost here. I'm going to go in for maybe some other stuff as well. I don't know if it's worth... I guess I'm going to go for an Electro Spirit on top of the Firecracker so it doesn't get as much damage on my tower because it would sprawl way more Firecrackers shots on my tower. It's just not worth it. We don't want that. We don't want fireworks. I was going to say Firecracks for a second. I was like, that's not what a firework is, Jake. What's the word for it? Firecracks, guys. That's her shots. That's what they're actually called. Okay, watch the Royal Giant in all its beauty. It has like 30% more health. It also ends up knocking back all the opponent's units when the Royal Giant shoots. So notice how the Royal Giant shoots and the mini Pekka gets blown back? Look at the damage I'm getting. It's so dumb, right? It's so good. It's kind of crazy. We don't even have to respond to that because the mini Pekka is getting targeted first. One of the worst things that you can do in Clash Royale is overcommit on defense against good players. Because then you're going to be down elixir and you won't have as much elixir to apply aggression to them and keep up with them. If they make perfect plays the entire game and you're being inefficient, you're going to lose every time. That's one thing that I've realized. We're going to Fireball here on the Firecracker, even if it's a -1 trade. I don't care, because we're going to get tower damage. And then also on top of that, then the Phoenix also forces out another response. We're going to do this, and we're going to log, and then we're going to go Ghost. It's unfortunate. Doesn't really have the best response right now for us, or we don't really have the best response, but it's okay. It's something that I can work with. We can plop down another Royal Giant at the river, and then go in for a mini Pekka counter with the Fisherman to go and pull the mini Pekka. If he goes in for a Royal Delivery first, he played this really well. He did. Super, super smart player. Credit where credit is due. This guy is not a fool. Unfortunately, he is not a fool. All right, we can go for an electro spirit to go and pull that back for 1 elixir compared to going in for a phoenix for 4. Just always thinking about it from that practical standpoint. I will get a better trade if I do this. Therefore, I will do this every time. All right, we're going to go in for this, and I want to go for Royal Giant again because it's evolved, so we're just going to take full advantage of that. Let's go in for probably Skeletons here with an Electro Spirit, so then he just doesn't get the trade that he was looking for with the Mini Pekka, and then we can Fireball on top of the Mini Pekka, ideally. Perfect gameplay on our end. Let's go. I mean, I really shouldn't be that proud of myself. I just hit a Fireball, but it's really satisfying watching him waste all of that Elixir and not being able to break through Skeletons and a Fireball. All I did was like 5 Elixir there. I guess I dropped like 1 extra Elixir with an Electro Spirit, but minimal defense spent. Because of the King Tower, I was able to still make it happen. And with our Royal Giant Cycle deck, we completely crushed a top 200 player. Seriously, look at this guy's banner. He's insanely talented, and that game wasn't even close. And winning that one places us at 1,800 in the world. All right, let's go, Rob. Time to rob you your towers. Let's go. The dad jokes never get old. All right, we're going to go in for Skelly's in the back, and he's giving us the CRL emote. It's almost as if he knows that he is going to get destroyed by evolutions or just not going to be happy with the matchup. So whenever you have like counter pushing units, because evolution with Royal Giant is so overpowered, you want to cycle the Royal Giant so you can get back to another Royal Giant and then use the evolution Royal Giant. Because even if you're getting a bad trade with the first RG, the second RG is likely going to give you a huge positive elixir trade. That's what I like to think. I don't drop my Royal Giant immediately at the start every single time, but if I'm defending something and then I'm counter pushing with units, then I'll drop my Royal Giant every time. I won't just randomly drop it at the river is what I'm trying to say. I have counter pushing units, then I Royal Giant, especially with the evolution. It's completely changed how you play Clash Royale. And it's cool because it makes the games a little bit more fast paced. Maybe not as high skill, but definitely I think as people start to understand the evolutions, it will become more high skill as the games go deeper and deeper. We're going to go in for a Fisherman here to go and yoink his Musketeer, and then it's not going to hit the Ice Spear. It's going to pull the Musketeer. I don't know what he was thinking. That was good for us. We're in a Royal Giant now, and we also end up having the ability to use Log to reset his Mighty Miner so then he can't kill my RG as effectively as he wants. Solid stuff. Being able to finish that off is awesome. And then we can bounce back his delivery. And Royal Giant has 30% higher health than the regular Royal Giant when it's evolved. So that's so much damage. It's actually insane that it's knocking back the Royal Delivery. Each time that the Royal Delivery recruit wants to attack, it gets knocked back. And the guy is so mad. He is unbelievably salty. He's got 2 ways of shutting me down. Mighty Miner plus Ice Spirit, and he's also going to have Mortar. So his deck is pretty good. If you're not going to have evolutions, his deck is winning in a lot of situations against Royal Giant from what I've seen. So we're going to go in for a Fisherman here. I think that... Okay, I missed it. I was so concentrated on talking about what I was trying to explain that I literally misplaced my Fisherman. Oh, man, that was definitely a pretty fishy fish boy. Anyway, we can still maybe go for a Log here on the Ice Spear and try to make a prediction. It didn't work out. That would have been super fun. This guy will be incredibly salty if he loses this game. So I'm going to go in for probably a Royal Giant here and just eat the Musketeer. And he doesn't have the Mighty Miner on the field, so there's not much he can do besides go in for like an Ice Spirit, Mortar, and then also the Royal Delivery. That's what I would expect him to do. Yo, he's going to be so mad. He didn't get the Mortar down in time. Where's the salt? Where are the salty CRL emotes? You guys already know we're playing around like top 2,000 in the world, so every single person that loses is really try hard at Clash Royale. So they're not going to be happy if they lose the game, especially into double Royal Giants blasting them in the face. I wish I had activated King Tower with the Fisherman. I will show you guys that I am capable. Look at me. I activated King Tower with the Fisherman. Please, please just activate King Tower with the Hog. Come on. Come on. Redemption arc. We did it. Meanwhile, we took almost all of his crowns, basically 3 crowning him, and we're celebrating activating King Tower. The small victories in life are the ones that matter the most. At least Rob was able to celebrate his CRL emote one more time at the end. This guy was not happy. All right, so jump into the game against Felix. Let's go. So he's a part of the Rocket clan. He's even got the Rocket symbol, despite Rocket being one of the worst cards in Clash Royale. So if you guys didn't know, you can activate King Tower with the Fisherman in this placement against the Royal Ghost. Generally, it's not going to be worth it, though. The reason why it's generally not going to be worth it is 9 times out of 10, when you see someone have Royal Ghost, they're probably going to have Royal Giant. Wait, is this guy not going to have Royal Giant? No way. Wait. Activating King Tower, that would be incredibly clutch if he's going to have Royal Hogs. I think this is one of those few moments that it was actually beneficial for us to activate King Tower. Let's go. So that placement against Royal Ghost, especially against like Pekka Bridge Spam, is really good. So just something to keep in mind for a lot of you guys if you didn't know. All right, so we're going to go in for an electro spirit here. We're going to drop it really low so the firecracker hopefully wastes a shot. It does not. Oh, no, please don't get another hit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I asked you politely, and then you just don't listen. How could you, firecracker? Okay, it's because I'm not using your evolution today. Is that why? Are you feeling like a little bit betrayed that I'm using the Royal Giant instead? Okay, I see how it is. We're in a Royal Giant at the river right now. We could also go in for maybe a Royal Ghost Skeletons, maybe even a Fireball here. I think Fireball is the best bet because if we are able to blast the Goblin Cage as well, it's nice. Oh, wait. Watch, the Royal Giant's going to get a shot and it's going to blast back the Goblin Cage Brawler, and then the Goblin Cage Brawler is going to have to walk back. The Royal Giant gets a hit at 1 HP every time now because of the 30% buff to its health. It just gets damaged when it shouldn't. It's just broken. That hit there, I think, is just utterly unfair. I would be happy if Royal Giant had the knockback after it gets the hit. I think that's a cool evolution trait. I don't love the fact that it has 30% more health. I think that's a bit of overkill in my opinion. All right, we're gonna go in for a ghost in the back, and then we're gonna go in for a fisherman here on the ghost, and we're just gonna stack up a lot of phoenixes since it's hard for him to finish them off. We're gonna fireball directly on the skeleton dragons. Hopefully he hits some other stuff as well. It's okay if not. We're just gonna chill. I don't think it necessarily matters as much if I take one RG hit. Sometimes people have this perception that if they take damage, they're screwed. And you gotta make sure that you don't fumble the bag when you're having an advantage, just to make sure you don't take any damage ever. If you get so concerned about that, you're probably gonna lose. All right, so phenomenal decision making from him. Not gonna lie, that was just smart. I kind of have to go in for a fisherman here afterwards so we can pull the Royal Giant to the other side. Ideally, this works out. If not, then I'm screwed. Okay, the electro spirit needs to put in work. The electro spirit needs to save my butt. Okay, we can go for 2 Royal Giants. Is this going to work if I just plop down 2 big Archie boys? Oh, Santa Claus is coming tonight. We're going to go in for a fireball here. He's going to get a gigantic fireball value as well. If we're able to kill the skeleton dragons, that's a vibe, and I think I win. Very solid stuff. Fun match. And we had to deal damage, but also take damage. It's a delicate balance. And if you ever sway too much in one way, you're 100% going to lose. So we did just enough, and we walked away with a perfect win. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an amazing rest of your day.